So I think from this point on, this is how I'll handle these type of levels. I know I did kind of say that I would want to have them in normal episodes, but I kind of just break up the pace just a little bit. And I think the only time I will have one of these in a normal episode and not in a group on its own episode is when I'll wait something and I can't really avoid it, or like taking the other way around to our goal would be longer. So yeah, apologize if this episode is a little bit different, but I think this is just how it is because I really don't like this mission type, or this mission type does not fit well with the Let's Play format at all, because you're given 10 minutes to defeat as many enemies as you would like. Casually, it's not so bad, but when you're trying to make an episode, or when you're trying to keep an episode in a reasonable length, it's sort of like, I would much prefer to be able to cut this short, because this is as close as a auto-scroller as this game gets, and yeah, that kind of sucks, because I would much prefer it if you had, like, if you were given a chance, like, say, hey, if you've reached the KO count needed for an A rank, it's like, hey, you reached the KO count, do you want to continue on for a higher score, or would you like to just move on? I feel like that would be the better way to do this, because, like, spending 10 minutes just on one level, just, like, yes, I know that, vanilla levels can go longer than 10 minutes, sometimes, like, can even last up to 20, but, like, just the fact I know that I'm gonna be staying on a single level for 10 minutes, and there's no way I can shorten that time, it's like, oh, I guess I may as well just get busy or something. But yeah, also I apologize about the whole visual side. Didn't really think this one through, although that being said, if anything, this is the type of level where you kinda need to use Focus Spirit to get results, or to not, you know, die. And I want to say that this might be the only, like, I don't know, I kind of assumed that all of these didn't have any, like, requirements. It was just all solely based on KO count. But no, one of these levels that we do in this episode did require us to do it without with avoiding damage. Which seems a little bit weird, and this might make more sense in the moment, but I think I'll just mention this now. Just because of the whole nature of this mission type, I don't think I will bother with showing an initial attempt and then going back and doing the level proper, which is what I've done here. One of these isn't the initial attempt, it's actually the run back, because I was not expecting that, and I would have loved to have that knowledge beforehand. But yeah, running up to the end of the first mission, so I know this is kind of to be expected, since I did do, or I am covering 4 levels here, where normally we do like 3. But this episode alone took an hour and 16 minutes to record. Although that being said, technically we did 5 of these mission types, because one of them was a failed attempt, And well, I had to stop in the middle for something. I had to go and do another level to get an item. I just, I know I probably should like stop talking about this, but like, I just love the fact that in the definitive edition they made it so that you can just buy item cards. You don't have to go back and do a level. Although that being said, still have a bit before we can, or I have access to that shop. Although that being said, I don't really like how what they replaced for that. Like, it's a little bit weird. Definitely will end up mentioning it again when we get to that point. But unlike in this version and I think the 3DS version, you can't go to the characters, or you can't go to the bazaar from the map menu. You have to enter a level and then you can access the bazaar, because the item shop replaces the bazaar menu, which is just bizarre. Although that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if you could still access the bazaar, it's just that I just don't notice it. Because it does tend to happen a fair bit. But you know, whatever. But yeah, it's not a whole lot I can say. It's just, you know, the whole thing of fight a few enemies, wait until the bosses spawn, kill the bosses, and then just go about on a killing spree for the remaining amount of time. I'm just it's mission types like these that make you like the other mission types. Like during the first map, I hated doing the horde encounters because like it's basically this, but I wouldn't much like doing these. Just makes me appreciate the horde so much better, because like yes, you have like. It's kind of like the same concept. It's kind of flipped. You have a goal of KO. Yeah, you have a KO goal to reach, but you have a limited amount of time. Whereas this one, it's like you have a limited amount of time, but you just don't really have a limit on KOs. Just go wild, I guess. That being said, I wonder if that's kind of the reason why this is sort of the way it is, since like that wouldn't make this mission type too similar if you could just say, hey, you've reached, or you got on the KO goal you needed, do you want to continue, or you just want to call it like, do you want to carry on, or just want to cancel it now, I guess. But I don't really know. Although that being said, I think I wanna say there's another mission type like this that we'll get to see in future maps, and it's essentially the same thing. Yeah. But yeah, but I'm just learning now that, hey, maybe 100%ing this is not a good thing for a YouTube series, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I'm stubborn. So I'm not entirely sure what the fuck to talk about now, because, like, that's it, really. Although that being said, I do kind of like how this is a chance that I can kind of just turn, like, I don't have to worry about commentary. I can just focus solely on the gameplay, and I don't know, I guess it looks like I'm doing good. I don't know. I can't really compare myself, because, like, compared to when I first started playing this game back in the 3DS version, yeah, I suppose I've gotten better. That being said, I know how to utilize like all of the base characters now. A lot of the base characters and weapons. There's still a few that I don't know entirely how to put to good use. Also, don't really need the whole fucking stat screen down there, but it is a thing. I thought it would be weird if I didn't if I have left it out. Ooh, okay, I see an editing mistake that I need to fix. Hopefully I can remember that. With the weapon pop-up, I left Ruto's weapon in. I didn't switch out Volga's. So I still need to learn if it's how you pronounce Volga. Because I guess it does kind of make sense that it's Volga, since, like, you know, Volga is rude, I guess. But yeah, here's just more Volga. This is definitely off topic, but I really want there to be more DLC for Age of Calamity. But I know that's like not gonna happen because like that ship has sailed long ago. Although I suppose they could release a like definitive edition. Like I really don't like how they made or like Sia Junior isn't playable. And yes, I do refer to Asta as Sia Junior because Sia, Asta, same concept. Just he do be Sia Junior. I'm gonna stick by that. And another thing, like I know it's probably not possible, but I would love for Sia, Volga, and Rizro, maybe even Lana, to make a reappearance in Age of Calamity. Just because, like, I don't really like Link's spear gameplay, but I do kind of like Volga's spear gameplay in this one, although that being said, it's just essentially big sword. In fact, I compare Volga to just being a fire-type Blink. But I think with the whole thing they did with the Age of Calamity, with every character having a special mechanic, something I would kind of love to see them do with Volga is having him partially transform into his dragon form so you could fight as that dragon form instead of just occasionally becoming the dragon, just always becoming part dragon. And I guess with Sia and Lana, I know it's not really original since King Daphne's does do this, but just having them switch between Sia and Lana, I guess, just gonna flip-flop. What Rizro would do, I have no idea. Although maybe maybe you could like possess people or something. Cause like Blink's gauntlets or fucking things are sort of like a mimic ability, like somewhat, but it's just a mimic of his own, like of his 3 weapon styles. But what if Rizzo was like a full-on mimic, and like any playstyle he could have, like he could have any playstyle? It's like, what about that? Although that being said, that would be impossible to implement. Although that being said, that's not entirely the problem I have with Age of Calamity's DLC. It's more so the fact that you get given the characters way too late, and it's like, oh cool, characters I have now, but I don't have anything to use them on. Yay! And this was the level that I had to redo. Because for some reason, they just felt like doing that. Although that being said, part of the reason I guess I did kind of struggle with this one is, again, not expecting it, but I don't entirely know how to use Impia's thingy thing, the fly stick. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, but I don't really know how to, but I think I did kind of start putting it to good use here. Maybe, I guess. Just the whole, like, not entirely sure what attack it is, but the one where she throws the stick and she just jumps to it. I think that's a good one. Also, yeah, putting manhandles in a fucking damage avoiding thing as well as Ragnarok here, yeah, bad times. Just bad times all around. It's not fun. Not fun. But yeah, it's not really anything I can say about doing this within keeping with the 4,000 damage limit. I guess I did kind of play it a little bit safe, a lot, I guess. Like here, I'm just always guarding. So yeah, that is one thing I did kind of notice. When I first, I think way before I started doing this, I kind of had in my brains like, why would I need, why do I need to guard? I can just dodge, but no, guarding has its uses. Because I think I want to say that there's a few characters that you can, or that don't have any lag frames when dodging forwards. But I think it's an oversight, but if you guard and then dodge, any character gets that too, and in any direction, so guarding is pretty busted, I suppose. Although I think I definitely need to look up if the levels where you can't guard, or it says you can't guard, if that still has the same effect. But yeah, that is definitely a really good tip and something I found myself using because, oh boy, the Master Quest map does not mess around, and it's painful to say that it doesn't get any better. The upcoming map is going to be a bit of... It's going to be the calm before the storm, I guess I can say. So I think I definitely will kind of make a note, maybe even put it in the episode itself, like how long it took me to record that episode. Because while not the longest, I definitely think an hour and a quarter is up there. Although that being said, I definitely get the feeling that the end of the episode, like the final few episodes of the last map, were up there. Considering that they like were all like 40 to 50 minutes long. So we are nearing episode 100, and I do have something special planned for episode 100, but at this rate, I don't entirely know how that's gonna work out. If I can even do that, or if I can do what I have planned for that. Does that make sense? Just due to how this version just is not streamlined at all. Although that being said, if we were able to complete this map before episode 100, that would be pretty nice. Don't think it's likely. But yeah. So yeah, I was actually able to extend the focus spirit enough that it continued on for the entire thing. Just amazing. But yeah, next episode we'll just continue on. But until then, that is when I'll see you.